If you grew up in the 80s, chances are you know Collin Creek Mall very well. It officially closes its doors next week, and today they're hosting a goodbye party.
CBS 11's Nicole Jacobs live inside the mall, where she got to catch up with at least a couple of friends who couldn't resist. We hear coming out and reminiscing about the place.
Absolutely, Doug and Gilma. The party is just getting started here at Collin Creek Mall. You may be able to hear some 80s themed music in the background and, of course, the Back to the Future vehicle here. But today we ran into two friends who took a walk down memory lane and invited us to come along.
Who remembers life as a teenager?
Just to reminisce about the great times that we had here.
You know, the days when you spent hours.
I spent probably 30, 40 hours a week.
Just hanging out at the mall.
Making a trip to the mall and spending 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day, it's pretty normal growing up.
For friends Billy Hurst and Jason Kennedy.
Like, hey, do you want to run over there and just check it out one last time? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
They couldn't resist one last hurrah.
So my big thing was the Champ Sports was over here, and this is where I worked for several years.
But this place, Collin Creek Mall in Plano, is officially closing its doors to shoppers.
You still have walkers, right? So that's the last tenant, is a walker.
And yes, walkers, to make way for $1 billion mixed-use development headed up by Centurion America.
The first phase will include retail. It'll have some of the single-family and the multifamily, as well as some of the hotel.
And restaurants, too. Groundbreaking is set for August, with Phase 1's completion marked for 2021.
I took many a trip on this escalator coming up here to the food court.
That's not nearly as long as the path down memory lane.
You could find a lot of husbands growing up in the 80s and 90s that sat on a series of benches that were right here underneath this escalator waiting for their wives.
Or a look back at what was.
This was Sbarro?
This was Sbarro.
This was Sbarro.
And all the things remembered.
The kids are missing out on that. You know, everybody's online now with their phones, shopping.
Much different than the good old days.
Now, Billy and Jason had not stepped foot inside this mall for 15 years until today. They could not make this celebration, but of course, all of these people could, and they're going to be going strong through 9 p.m. tonight. We're live in Plano. Nicole Jacobs, CBS 11 News.